Hello viewers, let us talk about sporting culture. Let us talk about national sports federations and also talk about National Sports Code 2011. Now, generally when we talk about sports, there are two types of people. The people who play sports and the people who watch sports. But there is a different thing that is called sporting culture, which is very different from just playing or watching the sport. Because the term culture is associated with that. And culture means when something becomes a way of life. When something becomes a way of life, it impacts each and every possible thing in the country, individually, collectively level of society, and definitely at national level. So let us see why a sporting culture is very much required in a country like us. How a sporting culture can give a shape to an individual, to the society, and to the nation, and how to plant this sporting culture. So let us understand the benefits of a deep-rooted, broad-based, and regular sporting culture in any country. Let's see the benefits first. So benefits can be going to the individuals, to the society and the nation. Let us talk about the individual first. So we want smart people. So hence sporting culture can help in creating smart people. That means sporting culture can help in what behavior modification, improving the health profile of the individuals, and also channelizing the time and energy of the children, the juveniles and the youth in the right direction. Let us see all these benefits one by one. So the first major benefit is behavior development and behavior modification. So let us see what are the behaviors which can be cultivated on a playground through a regular sporting culture. There are various behaviors which cannot be taught in classroom lectures because behaviors cannot be learnt in the classrooms. Behaviors can only be learned through practice. That is activities based learning. And sports is definitely activity based learning, and with a deeper sporting culture that become a regular exercise. So hence the first major change in behavior is self-discipline. So first thing that people learn is self-discipline. People are usually not self-disciplined. Yes, they are not ultimately obeying the basic norms of the society. So when I talk about sports, the sporting culture generates a sports person who first nurtures self-discipline, follow a scheduled routine, okay, the diet plan, regular practice. Yes, the first thing the sporting culture generates is self-discipline in an individual. Now let's talk about the second, is teamwork. Now we know most of the sports are team sports. Now when I talk about teams, teams may be comprising people from different backgrounds. But many times the people have got biases against the people from different backgrounds. This normally happens because whatever thinking that we cultivate is on the basis of the surroundings in which we grow up. Many times when we are growing up in our surroundings, we nurture or we get various biases against each other, which are mostly preconceived notions. But when we are playing in a team, when you're part of a team, we are forced to shell or shed those biases. Yes, we're going to shed or dilute those biases or eliminate those biases. You may have seen a movie called Chak De India. The girls coming from different parts of the country, they were not playing together initially. They had biases against each other, but gradually they were forced to shed the biases over a period of time, and finally teamwork emerged. So hence the first thing that sports teaches is accepting each other, respecting each other, and this is a sign of what? Democratic spirit. The sign of democratic spirit. Now, why democratic spirit is required among the people like us? As I told you, we grow up in the surroundings which are not democratic. We may be coming from the households which are not democratic in their thinking. So hence we have to shed those biases. Again, how to teach democracy? We cannot teach democracy just through lectures. We have to cultivate it. So sporting culture is a way of cultivating democratic spirit. The third thing that the sports teaches is leadership skills. So leadership means willingness to take initiatives in a transparent, unbiased manner for benefiting the entire team. Yes, leadership skills. Now the fourth change in behavior is sportsmanship. Now when I talk about sportsmanship, is basically generosity. Generosity, being generous in both victory and defeat. So let's talk about defeat first. In case of underachievement or not achieving the goals or losing a match, see, this applies everywhere. This applies at the workplace also. This also applies on the playground also. Now, when I talk about what is the meaning of sportsmanship here, first of all is acceptance, gracious acceptance of defeat. Now, try to find the faults. Now, after you know your faults, you try to build your capacities, you do your skill development. And finally, when you're going to perform next, you are not supposed to repeat the same mistakes. Yes. So hence, we learn more with our defeats. We learn more with what lesser success. If we properly accept and improve on the faults, yes, that we are ultimately doing, and also not repeating the same mistakes. Now, similarly, next thing the sports teaches sportsmanship in cases of achieving victory or results. So hence, first of all, so first thing that a victorious team or the victorious team or the individual should be doing is respecting the losing side. And hence, we know winning once can be very easy. Sustained winning is very difficult. Again, the winning combination also require sustained capacity building or regular skill development. But now, what is the larger impact? When the winning combination or a winning team or a winning individual raises the bar each and every time, then the competitor also try to match that bar. So this leads to what? Raising the productivity and efficiency everywhere. So and sportsmanship ultimately teaches you how to behave in what the conditions of defeat, conditions of victory. Yes. Now, behavior modification. Now let's see the impact on health. Yes. Let's see the impact on health now. Now, next benefit of individual is the impact on health. So when we regularly play, when we sporting culture can be on the basis of regular sporting calendar. That means from the grassroots level to the topmost level. For example, inter-village games or maybe inter-school games or inter-district games or inter-block games. Yes, there should be regular sporting culture. Now, when this is being a regular activity, there is a huge impact on the health of the individuals. So first of all, it improves the physical health. It also improves the mental health. We know playing sports and watching sports is the biggest de-stressor. So we de-stress ourselves. When we are talking about the conditional stress that we see across the society, the working conditions, so hence the sports can be a way of what releasing the happy hormones. So here it can be what from promoting what better mental health. So by creating what happy hormones or release of happy hormones by de-stressing ourselves. Now, when the physical and mental health is better, definitely what becomes better? Health profile improves. Health profile improves. And this reduces health expenses. Now, what type of health expenses are reduced? Mostly non-communicable diseases, which is happening due to what? Overstressed working environment or sedentary lifestyles. For example, what? Diabetes, the blood pressure or the heart issues or the mental stress. All these are things which can easily be prevented by ultimately involving ourselves in what regular sporting culture or regular sporting activities. So hence there are two types of what maybe the healthcare system. One is preventive and second is curative. And we know prevention is better than cure. The sporting culture can promote preventive healthcare and hence reduce the health expenses. Now, when the mind and body is healthy, we have read in schools, a healthy mind always rests in a healthy body. Now, when mind and body is healthy, it improves the work efficiency. Finally, a healthy mind and healthy body improves work efficiency. Now, let's see the next benefit to the individual. Now, the next benefit to the individual is now channelizing time and energy. Channelizing time and energy in the right direction. We know the children are yet restless, juvenile and youth are also restless. So we have to channelize the time and energy in the right direction. If we are not able to channelize their time and energy in the right direction, definitely they can be misled very easily. So we have to curtail their idle time. We have to channelize their time and energy. Many times if you are not able to do the channelization, what happens? They move towards negative addictions. For example, they fall into crime or drug abuse or maybe alcoholism. So how to dissuade? How to what counter all these negative addictions? Negative addictions can be countered by positive addiction, and sports is one of the most positive addictions which attract each one of us. So hence it's a way of channelizing time and energy and countering negative addictions. So that means sporting culture can create what type of individual, the type of individual that reflects best of the behaviors, the individual that reflects best of the health, and definitely which is not falling into trap of negative addictions. So hence what we are creating smart people by using the power of sporting culture. Now let us see the impact. Now let us see the impact on the society. Now there are various impacts on the society. First of all, now, when we are having a proper sporting culture, with deep-rooted sporting culture, with proper calendar-based sports, that means we are connecting large number of people. So hence, it creates healthy society. As I told you that most of sports are about team sports, so hence it is creating what more cohesion in society. Cohesion means more bonding in society. Hence, breaking the biases. That society is moving towards more democratic spirit, more inclusive way of life. Yes, more democratic spirit. Next is, now when a society is healthy, when the society is cohesive, then this society becomes a productive society. Then this society becomes a productive society. Now we all know a fighting society is never a productive society. A society low on health is never a productive society. That means by combining health, by combining what better bonding, democratic spirit, we are creating a highly productive society. Now this also creates an empowered society. Also creates empowered society. Now that means sports is a way of empowering all these sections in the society. All these sections in the society, for example, empowerment of women. So women in sports is a sign of women empowerment. Now empowerment of people irrespective, yes. So it breaks the background barriers. So empowering people irrespective of background, so it breaks the class barriers, it breaks the caste barriers, it breaks the religion barriers, it breaks the region barrier on the basis of color. Yes, that means again empowerment to all irrespective of their background, because the sports breaches all the barriers in the society. Now next is empowerment to differently abled. So you must have heard about Paralympics events. Yes, so each and every now sporting major tournaments have got different para events. The purpose is to give what visibility, recognition, and respect and acceptance to even differently abled. Now, even when we talk about the third gender, so they are also being provided space. For example, Manipur has India's first transgender football team, and a state which is usually progressive in most of the social activities is Kerala. So Kerala hosted transgenders sports meet. So hence what we are finding is all the people who may be requiring empowerment in the country. So women require empowerment, people belong to different caste, different religion, different culture, they require empowerment, differently abled require empowerment, third gender require empowerment. So hence sports emerge as an empowering tool. It becomes a new symbol of power. It becomes an inclusive symbol of power. Now this type of society finally emerges into safe society. Why the society is becoming safe? So safety is not just brought by policing or maybe more security infrastructure. We are talking about society which should be there within the society itself. So how this society is becoming safe? This society is becoming safe because there's more cohesion and bonding in the society. There are better democratic values or democratic spirit. There's better empowerment, and we are also curbing negative addictions. We are also curbing negative addictions. So hence this society is more safe. Yes, more safe. Now when a society has all these features, this type of society can also bring glory in terms of what sporting achievements across the world, because this society is now naturally prepared to win bigger or larger number of medals in the biggest man-made event like Olympics in the world. So hence the bigger benefit will be now going to the nation itself. The sporting culture and its benefit on the nation. The first benefit is on the results. So we can achieve what larger number of gold medals in Olympics, the biggest event on this planet Earth. So we struggle to get gold medals. So maybe last time it was one gold medal, before that 0, 0, 0, then one. So hence we are not able to realize the actual potential of our country. So results will increase, gold medals will increase. So this will also improve the visibility and respect of the nation worldwide. visibility and respect of the nation worldwide. This is also going to raise the soft power status of the country. Soft power status of the country. So there are two types of power, the hard power and the soft power. So when a country like India, which is aspiring to become a global power, it has to challenge the existing superpowers in all the dimensions, that is both hard power and soft power. So sport is a sign of a soft power. Now it also builds for national integration. National integration, because it brings people from different parts of the country together. National integration. Now here further, it also impacts what? Foreign relations. It also impacts foreign relations. Now means by hosting what? Bilateral tournaments, by hosting what? Multilateral tournaments, by hosting what? The regional tournaments, by hosting what? Continental tournaments, yes, it is going to improve the foreign relations, yes, in the form of track to diplomacy. The sports can be a tool for track to diplomacy, foreign relations. Now further also, it also upscale the economic activities. It also upscale the economic activities. Now economic activities, how? It opens up the livelihood opportunities for n number of people. When they're deep into sporting culture, and for example, you may be knowing that India is a country of more than 15 lakh schools, and there are more than around 50,000 colleges. And all these education institutions require sports teachers. And if these positions properly filled, it is going to create huge employment opportunities to the people who are linked with sports, at least to the people who have reached a district level of performance. So what we require, sports teachers are required. Private sports coaching is an expanding area. Professional teams require their coaches and trainers and the support staff. Then when we talk about sports equipment manufacturers, the demand for sporting goods will rise. So there will be expansion about sports goods manufacturing and emergence of new hubs. Similarly, when we talk about to give a proper shape to sports as an educational discipline, we require sports academies and sports universities. So they also require their type of coaches, trainers, and educators, and what regular staff. So sports also open about various earning and livelihood opportunities for n number of people, billions of people. And finally, when we talk about the impact at large, so sports is an alternative means of recreation for the people beyond TV and internet. It is a way of generating positivity and positive vibes in the society. It's a way of what? It's a way of creating what? Regular process of unification in the country. It's definitely what used for creating more smart people. So hence, when we talk about sporting culture, it has got very deep rooted impact, very wider impact. But for that, we have to what? Initiate a deeper sporting culture in the country. So in order to achieve all these benefits, let us see how to lay down a sporting culture in our country. Now for this, what is required first of all is better governance of sports. See, everything moves to direction. Now direction is provided by the governance and the management systems of any country or any society. So hence, similarly in the sporting world, we also require efficient governance in sports for laying down a proper sporting culture. Even there was a UPSC question in this regard. Let's see the question first. An athlete participates in Olympics for personal triumph and nation's glory. So what usually happens? Those who win the medals, victors are showered with cash incentives by various agencies on their return. So depending upon the type of medal, the type of tournament, so various winners are given what different form of cash prizes by the state governments and by various agencies. So now here the question is saying, discuss the merit of state sponsored talent hunt. So state sponsored means under the guidance of proper sporting governance. Yes. It's talking about sports governance. So what is the merit of sports governance in talent identification and talent cultivation, means talent improvement, as against the rationale of just giving cash prizes? So again, this question is talking about what type of sporting structure is required, what type of sporting governance is required to regularly identify the best talent and make them better and achieve what? National glory. So let us see what are the things which are required to be done with respect to improved governance of sports in our country. Let's see them in a proper sequence. Now these are the major things which are required to be done for planting a very deep-rooted sporting culture, and this is going to upgrade the efficiency of governance in sports. The first thing that is required is, now when we talk about ministry, there is a Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports in our country, but that ministry is not a very mainstream ministry, it's a ministry at the periphery. Now, ministry at the periphery, how many times you hear about this ministry, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports? Almost nil. So that means if the ministry is not seen as a mainstream ministry, it will not be bringing change in the society. Now, when you talk about a country like us, we are a country of youth, we are a country of children. Now, three ministries are very, very important. First is Ministry of Education, second is Ministry of Skills and Entrepreneurship, and third is Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. So hence, the tag of mainstream ministry should be extended toward Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports so as to shape our country. The first thing that is required is mainstreaming of this ministry. Now, when you are mainstreaming a ministry, you have to allocate it what? Higher budgets. You have to allocate here higher budgets. Now, we know budgets cannot be increased immediately, but budgets can be increased on annual basis. Budgets can be increased when the economy is also booming. Bigger the economy, wider the tax collection, wider the revenue for the government. And wider the revenue means more budgetary support can be provided to key important areas. For example, nurturing of sporting culture. So hence here the role is, what we require is annual increase. And we also require what? Bigger economy. Economy is revenue. Revenue leads to budgets. Revenue leads to budgets. Now, the next thing that becomes very, very important is transparent elections to sports bodies. Now, this is a major issue. The sports body, I'm talking about here about national sports federations we are talking about. So, for example, there was RM Lodha panel. There was an RM Lodha panel. Now, which was constituted to bring reforms in the BCCI, yes, Board of Cricket Control in India. So, it clearly recommended that the sporting bodies should not be the resting places for the politicians and the retired bureaucrats. The sporting body should be run by what? Ex-sports persons, and there should be regular elections. There should be regular elections to sports body so as to get what? Regularly new members. Similarly, almost last year, India's Hockey Federation, National Hockey Federation and National Football Federation was about to be suspended from International Hockey Federation and International Football Federation because they highlighted the issue of what? Non-elections in these Indian federations and even the issue of corruption there. The most important thing that is required is we require transparent elections to sports bodies in all the national sports federations. Now, who is going to give guarantee of maybe proper elections here? Only the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. So, it should be made more proactive so that all the national federations are going to conduct proper elections and give more space to the people who are ex-sports person to drive the sports there, yes, rather than the resting places for the politicians and the bureaucrats. As we are seeing recently with respect to Wrestling Federation of India, so captured by a powerful politician who is running the federation like the personal fiefdom or the personal jagir. So that should not be the case. Now, when you talk about the next requirement is, all these federations should be abiding with National Sports Code 2011. So National Sports Code came in 2011 and it clearly stated that there should be constitutions. There should be internal constitutions for all these federations, internal constitutions. There should be regular elections. There should be gender equality. There should be a committee which should be looking into the issues of sexual harassment. And they should have a proper long-term plan. Proper long-term plan for the execution of sports under its command or under their command. So hence the requirements are proper constitution, internal constitution for national sports federations as per the National Sports Code 2011, regular elections, gender equality, a committee looking into sexual harassment, and finally a long-term plan. Yes, long-term plan for strengthening the roots of the sports for which the federation is there. Now the next thing that is required is maybe promoting one state, one sport. As I was talking about that we require higher budgetary allocation for sports, but we know budget cannot be increased immediately. But what can be done? Whatever the budget that is there, that can be utilized more efficiently. Now, there are certain states in which certain sports are very, very popular. For example, Kerala athletics is very popular. Tamil Nadu, yes, your tennis is very popular. When I talk about Odisha, hockey is popular. Again, Punjab hockey is popular. Haryana wrestling is popular. Football is popular in what? Various northeastern states, Goa or Kashmir. So hence, whatever the budgets these state governments are having, then that budget should be utilized for at least what upscaling this already popular sport to the level of excellence. Yes. So one state, one sport means ultimately converting one sport to the level of excellence. So and this will push up what different sports beyond cricket. Yes, this will push different sports beyond cricket to the level of excellence. And most of these sports are what? Olympic sports, where we have got a potential to win medals. Cricket is not an Olympic sport. Now, next what is required is calendar of annual sports. Now, how to plan this culture? We require regular playing. We require participation of all these stakeholders. So, the next requirement is calendar of annual sports. So, calendar annual sports, for example, inter-village games, inter-school games, inter-college games, then inter-block or the block level games or district and inter-district tournaments. Inter-district tournaments. Now what this will lead to? This will lead to what? Talent hunt. This will lead to proper talent hunt, means filtration of talent. How we can filter the talent? We can only filter the talent by through regular tournaments. So there should be proper calendar of inter-village games, inter-school games, inter-college, inter-block or inter-district level tournaments, so as to filter the right talent. Yes, right talent. Now further, this should be leading towards the higher level, that is state level tournaments and the national tournaments. So state and national, so state should be made regular by all the states, but this will become regular when all these are also very, very regular. So hence, by having such levels of tournaments through a proper calendar, so what can be done? Through a proper calendar, so what can be the benefit? It will bring in various stakeholders together. So there are various stakeholders. The panchayats are there, which are supposed to promote what? Rural sports. The schools are the stakeholders, colleges are the stakeholders, district sports bodies are the stakeholders. Then yes, railway stakeholder, PSUs are stakeholder, armed forces, police are the stakeholder. So federations. Now there are various stakeholders in a country, even for corporates. Now for corporates, promotion local sports is a CSR activity, corporate social responsibility activity, CSR activity. So hence we so again when we see all these actions in a little totality, what we find out that first major thing is we need to mainstream the ministry first, so that becomes more visible, more vocal and more impactful. To make it more impactful, higher budgetary allocation is required. Next thing is that the topmost level are the national federations representing different sports in our country. Those federations should have what? Proper elections, transparent elections, just to give more space to ex-sports persons. Now these federations should be abiding with National Sports Code, which should be working on all these factors. Now if the budget is less as of now, but we can utilize the budget to maximum efficiency, and there are different sports which are popular in different type of states. So let first of all those sports be elevated to the level of excellence. When more sports are built to a level of excellence beyond cricket, the chances of winning more medals across in the Olympics becomes better, and hence this can give shape to what emerges of different sporting disciplines in the country beyond cricket. Yes. Now this requires proper calendar sports, and these calendar sports will be bringing all the stakeholders together. Now when all these calendar sports are required to be conducted, this is giving a boost to supportive infrastructure like the playgrounds. But when we talk about the cities, the major issue is the missing of open spaces. Due to a rapid and haphazard urbanization, we have eaten up almost every possible open space. So what can be done? How can we host local tournaments? We can host local tournaments. There are existing playgrounds, and there are various playgrounds in what various large education institutions like schools and colleges. All those playgrounds there in the education institutions and the general community playgrounds, they can be designated as the places for hosting calendar based sporting tournaments, local tournaments. And we know playgrounds can easily be created in the rural areas. Next requirement is a fully equipped stadium per district. Yes, stadium per district. Now this can be created in all the districts of the country. So stadium per district for conducting what district, inter-district or higher state or national level tournaments. So higher level tournaments at what stadium district level. Now what is also required supporting infrastructure is to give a shape to sporting discipline as a highly skill based activity. As an educational discipline, we require academies, professional academies, also require sports universities. That means converting sports into proper education ecosystem. Yes, converting into the sports as an educational ecosystem. So now when we see all these type of things together now, so ministry, better budgetary allocation, transparent elections to sporting bodies, abiding with national sports code, what opening up different sports to a level of excellence beyond cricket, having regular calendar sports, bringing all the stakeholders together, and finally this sporting culture will be requiring their type of infrastructure. So playgrounds definitely becomes a necessity. Then when we talk about stadium per district is definitely required to be created, and we require academies and universities for shaping the sporting discipline as a tool for highly skilled activities and for education. Now when we plant all these things in the form of proper governance and direction of sports, we are planting what? A deeper sporting culture, which can bring long-term benefits as we were discussed before, individually shaping smart people, society which is reflecting more democratic spirit, more inclusion, more empowerment, and also a nation which can reap various benefits of what visibility across the world as a sign of soft power. So hence sporting culture has the power to shape the country in various positive directions. So hence we require a deeper sporting culture in our country, not just playing sports or not just watching sports. We require a bigger dimension, that is sporting culture. I hope you like the video. So share the video and subscribe the channel for more informative videos. Thank you.